We've got breaking news for you this morning. A current Boeing employee is accusing the airplane manufacturer of cutting corners. This latest whistleblower came forward hours before Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun will be grilled on Capitol Hill today. And there, of course, are growing questions over the safety of Boeing's aircraft, which is why he is speaking to those on the Hill. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal chairs the subcommittee holding today's Boeing hearing. He joins me now. Thank you so much, sir, for coming this morning. We are all very curious about this last-minute whistleblower who's come forward. You, I think, actually spoke to him. What did you learn from him, from this new whistleblower?
This whistleblower, Sam Mohawk, is one of a dozen who have come to us in recent months, and his allegations are extraordinarily serious. He is saying that Boeing used non-conforming parts. Those are parts that are defective or damaged or undocumented and mistracked in airplanes, installing them, and then lying to the FAA about how it was storing those non-conforming parts. This kind of violation of trust is part of a pattern, a broken safety culture at Boeing. The company promised it would turn around that safety culture after the two crashes that occurred in 2018 and 2019. There was a deferred prosecution, as you recall, on the condition that Boeing, in effect, improved its performance on safety and reliability. But as Sam Mohawk reports, the company seems to have continued to put profits and production speed ahead of safety and reliability. And his account of the retaliation against him is particularly chilling. The pressure that was exerted on him to stay silent. They have a program called Speak Up. Well, he was told to shut up. And the pressure on him ultimately resulted in threats of termination, and that's one of the reasons why he's come forward.
Senator Blumenthal, it sounds like you were shaken by what he said, these using improper parts that really should not be on airplanes and putting, profits over people. What do you expect to do about this? What will you be saying in this meeting and trying to do in the Senate when it comes to Boeing and some of the issues that they have had that we have all seen, where planes falling apart in the sky in some instances?
Ultimately, we should want Boeing to succeed. It's a company that is key to our economy and to aircraft manufacturing. It's one of only two major aircraft manufacturers in the world, and it has plants all around the United States employing people. We want those people to continue in those jobs. I want to help it regain trust by facing the facts, and the facts are very bluntly and deeply alarmingly that Boeing has failed to comply with the conditions that it promised it would after those crashes of 2018 and 2019, and it was spared criminal prosecution on the promise that it would correct course. It needs changes in management. It needs to show the public that it will, in fact, implement specific actions to stop the use of defective or damaged parts, to come clean with regulators like the FAA, to do quality inspections, not by the mechanic who's doing the work next to the guy whose work is supposed to be inspected, but by an independent inspector, quality inspector, fully trained. These kinds of measures are key to Boeing's success going forward. And as chair of the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, I'll be producing a report that will insist on accountability and improving Boeing's safety practices and, in fact, putting safety and reliability ahead of profits or stock price.
Senator Blumenthal, you talked about Boeing escaping criminal prosecution. Do you think going forward, from what you're hearing from this whistleblower in particular and from other whistleblowers, that this kind of a behavior is still happening there, that is putting the public in peril, that they should be criminally prosecuted at some point?
Key question. There's mounting evidence that Boeing should be prosecuted. And I'm going to withhold judgment until we finished this hearing and the investigation. The Justice Department is now doing its own inquiry. But I do think there's near overwhelming evidence that prosecution is important to sending a message, a deterrent message, and also insisting on accountability. Remember that the company paid comparatively very little in terms of criminal penalty in connection with that deferred prosecution. And the families of people who perished in those two plane crashes, 346 people lost their lives, still feel that justice has not been served. And that feeling is pretty understandable. So I think that there is mounting evidence, perhaps overwhelming evidence now, that prosecution should be pursued.
Wow, that is a big statement from Senator Richard Blumenthal there, that prosecution maybe should be pursued. You have this hearing coming up today. We will all be watching to see what happens. All of us are part of the flying public, and the public really wants to make sure that their lives are not in danger because of mishaps and mistakes by Boeing. Senator Richard Blumenthal, thank you so much for coming on this morning and talking us through all of that. I appreciate your time.